An absolutely insane day in the world of Magic the Gathering. Rage is overflowing in the community, specifically in regards to Wizards' handling of foundations and not delivering what they were supposed to. On top of that, Aetherdrift is a tonal disaster. And if that wasn't enough for you, guess what? Wizards of the Coast screwed up the MagicCon Chicago event as well with its listings, and that's not even everything we're going to talk about today.
Magic.
I am a wizard!
History.
I'm an old wizard!
The Magic Historian.
My bones hurt. Greetings! Owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, my friends. I hope the day finds you well because we have gathered for a gigantic installment of Mega Magic News. There is a lot going wrong in the world of Magic, but let's talk about something sweet first. If you are pining for the olden days, the best days of Magic the Gathering, you're in luck. I just released a brand new booster pack opening of Ice Age. And if you haven't heard of Ice Age, it's a set from back in 1995 when Magic was sweet and pure, right? And on top of that, the booster pack that I opened is a quintessential Ice Age pack. It has a lot of awesome cards from the history of the game, and it would have been an incredible pack to open back in the day. So, if you would like a taste of that goodness, I will leave a link to that video at the end of this video, and I will also leave it pinned down in the top comment. Now that that goodness is out of the way, let's dive in to the badness. Starting out with Foundations and the reward box fiasco, because this is pretty much the worst way I can think of doing things. And obviously, that's how Wizards of the Coast operates. So, the first thing you need to know is this specifically has to do with foundation boxes that were rewards for the Magic Arena Direct Championship kind of event, right? So, if you don't know what I'm talking about because you don't play Arena, this is actually a cool concept on the surface, and if it was executed properly, it would be much better than it is. So how it's supposed to work is you basically go and play in an Arena event, and if you manage to dominate the entire event and be a champion and get non-stop wins all the way through, you will literally win an entire booster box of Magic the Gathering. So it is theoretically possible to be an Arena free-to-play player where you spend no money on it and then win actual physical boxes of Magic cards worth hundreds of dollars. So again, on the surface, seems awesome, but Wizards of the Coast is incapable of actually making it happen properly. I have gotten a number of reports from different people saying, hey man, I was a part of this event with the Foundations, I won a box, and it hasn't shipped. They're saying that it should ship out immediately, and here I am waiting 6 weeks with nothing. The communication on this stuff is abysmal. A ton of people aren't getting their boxes. There are other people who don't understand the process because apparently what they do is they have really confusing terms and conditions where they say, hey, so if for some reason you're not eligible to get the boxes in your country, what we'll do is we'll give you $250 instead. So, what would you think if you logged in and it said, you have $250 in your account? Would you think that that meant, oh, I guess they can't send a booster box, I've got money, okay. And then you go and you're like, this is non-cash money. Why does it say $250? It's some kind of internal process that they use, right? Where it determines, oh, okay, you've actually won this free box, but we're gonna put the $250 in as non-cashable money, and then that will be removed when the box is shipped because that equals the payment or whatever. And so this is a baffling thing where it should have already been shipped and you're waiting 6 weeks to get your boxes. Well, guess what? I've been doing a little digging a little deeper, and I find out that in some cases it's taken up to 6 months for people to get their boxes for this stuff. And Wizards of the Coast to go, oh, you've got to talk to Scalefast or whatever. You got to talk to the people in charge of that, and the people in charge of that will be like, you got to talk to Wizards, or they will just ghost you. So there is a particular percentage of these actual winners who literally get nothing. No box, no money, and no answer from anybody. And this situation is compounding now. The Foundations is the worst that I've seen for this scenario because we have discussed it in the past, but ultimately it's reached the point where, this event is supposed to be a big draw, and the reality as well is Wizards of the Coast, do you know who they help with these problems? If you have a big digital following, they will help you instantly, right? Instantly. They're like, yeah, no problem, we'll get it sent out, it's on its way. But if you're a regular Joe, they're just like, kick rocks, buddy, eat sand, whatever it is. We're not helping you. We don't care, right? At the end of the day, who cares about you? You don't matter. So the only way to make this actually work is to make noise about it, which is part of the reason that I am here right now talking about it. Obviously, I like to keep you guys up to date, but we also have to hold Wizards of the Coast accountable because they are making crazy money. The margins on Magic the Gathering are absolutely insane, and the way they're handling the game in a number of different ways is absolutely unacceptable, and this is one of them, right? These are the people who went out of the way to play in your event, did the hard work of grinding all the way up to the top. You already got to collect the gems and gold out of the accounts, which is the point of the event, right? The math is all done, where underneath it all, sure, Wizards is giving you a free box, but they've made more money off of Arena for it, because obviously that's the whole point. It's a profit motive, right? So Wizards has made the money off this. This isn't even like a box where they're losing on this. They've already been paid for this box, and they're not sending it out. Now, the next item on the list is a really interesting one. This has to do with Foundations, and this is apparently, now this is not 100% confirmed, but I do want to talk about it. There are fake boxes of Foundations circulating. So somebody ordered a box of Foundations through the Walmart website, but it's specifically supplied by a Chinese producer. So when it comes to these websites, you can say, only let me order from Walmart, or you can open it up to anybody. And they're kind of like Amazon now. Walmart feels like it operates somewhat like Amazon, where independent sellers can list whatever they want. So they're listing supremely cheap boxes of Foundations, which are coming out with the holo stamps, like totally not really there on the card. They're just like a flat yellow circle. It looks like the ripped open cards are actually black core cards, and Magic cards only come in blue core, purple core, and with a small little bit of the double face cards from Ixalan, no core. I remember when Wizards of the Coast announced that. We forgot to put the cores in the double face cards, and it's like, guys, this is one of the biggest anti-counterfeiting measures you have. There is the green dot test on the back of the card, but for real, if you take a phone or a flashlight, shine it through a Magic card, you can see it's either a blue core or a purple core. Blue core are North American cards. Purple cores specifically showed up because of Japanese printings. Anything else is fake. So the cards from this box were black cores. So we're now getting into the new realm where not only do you have to worry about repacks, but you have to worry about boxes that straight up entirely, you look at it, it looks like a Foundations box. It says that it's got all the information a normal box would have, but inside the cards are actually black core fakes. So it's reached the point where Magic the Gathering boxes are worth enough money that it's profitable for these fakers to fake not just the cards, right down to the commons and uncommons, but also the wrappings, all of it. And so the collation of the cards in the packs, you would end up getting more commons or uncommons than is actually possible in the set. If you actually look on the back of a booster pack, it will tell you how many commons or uncommons can come in each booster, right? And that one thing all by itself wouldn't be enough. It wouldn't be enough to really say, oh, obviously these are fake, right? But when you put all these things together, it's screaming that there are literally full-on fake booster boxes. And part of the problem here is Wizards of the Coast's quality, its quality control has become so bad that you can't really genuinely tell authentic Magic cards by their quality level. So there is a massive argument going on right now about whether this box is actually fake or not. I would need a little more information to conclusively say that it's fake. But when I looked over the images, given the holo stamps, given the fact that they don't have the right collation, given the fact that it looks like they are black core cards, all of it says to me that this is most likely a new era of fakes you need to watch out for. Now bear in mind, this fake box did not have the regular Wizards logo shrink wrap. So right now in this tiny little window of time, you might be able to discern fake boxes by them not having the official Wizard shrink wrap. But when you can already emulate other aspects, getting the shrink wrap, I mean, you're already doing booster packs, the boxes, all of it, getting the shrimp wrap, it's wrapped in shrimp. That's how you know it's fake, because it stinks like fish. Anyways, does shrimp stink like fish? I don't eat it. Anyhow, the point is, I wanted to make sure you guys are aware that these fake boxes exist, and if Wizards of the Coast had much tighter quality control, it would be a lot harder for this to happen. But right now, because card quality is so bad, especially across different printings from different places, you have people in the actual thread arguing like, yo, this is a legit box 100%. You just don't know. You got it from Japan. But ultimately, things like the black core, right? There's a purple core, but there's a black core in there too. So to me, I think that fake boxes are the new frontier of scammery. So be aware when you're buying from retailers, make sure you're actually buying from North American locations or actually even LGSs, right? That's my preferred place. That's where I pick up all of my boxes and all that stuff. If you don't have an LGS or your LGS isn't a good LGS, because they're not all good, right? Some are run by people who aren't great people, but there are a lot of great LGSs. So if you go there, you are getting it directly through the supply chain, Wizards, distributor, WPN store, so you don't have to worry about getting hit with a fake box. But that absolutely needs to be spread around as information. Again, I want to say, it's not 100% confirmed that fake boxes are out there, but it feels pretty close to confirmed for me, enough so that I wanted to go over it. Now, next item on the list is Aetherdrift is a tonal disaster. Not total disaster, tonal disaster, okay? So we'll know more of what kind of a disaster it is when we see more of the cards. So let's start out by talking about the awful Chandra art that has so many people arguing. It's absolutely wild how many people are worked up about this, right? So looking at it, you can see it's Chandra doing the Akira slide. They've put it into the Magic card frame, and honestly, when I looked at this, I thought, well, this couldn't have been officially revealed by Wizards of the Coast. Look at the cropping. Look at how this is all set up. This looks atrocious. Look at the top of Chandra's head. Was this just made by some random person? But no, indeed, this was Wizards' official spoiler. So people took issue with virtually every aspect of it. Why is it all stretched out? The bike looks weird to me. Chandra looks bizarre to me. The positioning, all of this is absolutely strange and defies all physics. So there has been a ton of people arguing over that. But for me, the funnier thing when it comes to the artwork is on the collector booster box. And by that, I mean just the one collector box. And if you didn't know that was a thing, now you know. There are 12-pack boxes of collectors, and you can get individual collector packs that also come in their own box, but there's only one booster in there. People have been caught by that before. So looking at the image on the screen, you can see down in the right hand corner, it says that it's just one booster pack in there. When you're getting boxes like this, make sure that you pay attention to that. But the reason that I'm showing you this artwork, and this is hilarious because I didn't know enough about monster trucks when I saw it to immediately notice, but somebody pointed out, why is the engine in backwards? And I went, wait, what? And I looked at it, I'm like, it does look backwards. I never thought I would spend time, because of Magic the Gathering, Googling the anatomy of a monster truck engine, but I did. And lo and behold, what's happening? That's supposed to be like the intake, right? And it's supposed to be in the front of the engine. So it's literally an engine in reverse. There are other aspects of the artwork that some people are like, oh, I hate that there's a bobblehead on there. I think that weird throttle in the middle is strangely placed, and it looks like it almost connects to her body. To me, those aren't nearly as big an issue as the engine being in backwards. And it shows you the level of care that Wizards of the Coast specifically has with this set. It screams the same kind of vibes as Thunder Junction, where they just go, who cares what happens? And that shows in the story. The story for Aetherdrift is nightmarishly bad. You have this young girl, oh, look at me, I'm part of a noble house, and now I can sneak out to race because we don't have, she literally says it's so much easier to sneak out of the house now that we don't have servants. And it's like, okay. And then in the next paragraph, her dad's like, hey, why weren't you up on time? And she's like, oh, I slept in. And he said, why didn't you have one of the servants wake you? And it's like, bro, you just said there are no servants in the story. And there's so many goofy moments in there, including things like Chandra being interviewed by the paparazzi. Chandra had handled a lot of things in her time, but she didn't know how to handle the paparazzi, so they start asking her questions. And she's like, I know what you guys want to know. Can I go fast? You better believe it. Check this, bro. My dad used to get caught all the time and given speeding tickets. And all the times that happened, I was on his lap. And it's like, okay, first of all, speeding tickets in Magic the Gathering. But putting that aside, your dad was a renegade against the government, a known smuggler and like criminal, right? So you're telling me that the police pulled over this well-known smuggler criminal and were like, well, you know, you're wanted for massive crimes against the government and you're to be instantly incarcerated and potentially executed. But you know what? We're just going to give you a speeding ticket and send you on your way. Here's your driver's license and registration. Like, and it just continues like that perpetually. The characters don't feel real. It is worse than the Thunder Junction story. This Aetherdrift story is the worst Magic story that has been written so far. It is horrendously bad, to the point where normally I will cover the Magic lore stories on my lore channel, Fantasy Geographic. This is the first time where right from the get-go I was like, I can't do this. This is not an enjoyable story. This is really, really dumb. So there's a bunch of people who hate the story as well. You can tell they put no effort into it. That's genuinely what it feels like. And nobody read it back. That's the most frustrating part of reading one of these stories and going, oh, I read this paragraph and absorbed what you said. Oh, here I directly contradict it. You wrote this. Why is it like this? It drives me crazy. Anyways, I know not everybody cares about the lore and the artwork because some people are Philistines, right? That's the reality. What are you going to do? Now, let's move on to talking about MagicCon Chicago 2025. So, I just stumbled upon this. Basically, somebody was doing a breakdown of what you get with the different badges. So I just went in there and I'm like, okay, I'm curious, I want to know. I remember the olden days where you could just go to a Magic event and you could just go in and be a part of it, and they didn't have 50 different badges and you had a badge just to go and sit down at a table and all these other levels. But anyways, that's the reality that we're living in now. So the listings for MagicCon Chicago 2025 are so sloppy that the dude who was doing the breakdown went through it and he's like, okay, so this one says that it's missing like the D20 as part of it, but this package has it and this package has it, and I presume it's part of this package, but I literally can't tell if this premium package, which is bigger than this package, comes with this die. They refer to different things, like they use different names for essentially the same thing. Oh, you can go to this D&D event. Oh, you can go to the signing stage. And it's like, wait, what is this stuff? Like, it's not actually clear what you get with the badges. And on top of that, Aetherdrift is spelt wrong in the official MagicCon Chicago information 3 separate times. Wizards of the Coast is running at such a breakneck pace that they can't keep up with anything. We're living in a world where the stories are incoherent nonsense that I'm absolutely sure nobody is reading afterwards. I'm sure they're just doing a spell check. I mean, think about the March of the Machine storyline where they were calling Akiri Akira and nobody noticed. It's like nobody's paying attention to anything over at Wizards anymore aside from just keep the cards going, keep the cards going, keep the cards going. And you can see it in every different aspect. Look at the secret layers, right? We've had multiple secret layers where they've literally printed cards wrong, and they're reprints. You've turned counterspells that are instants into sorceries. You've changed creatures that go off on everybody's turn to only your turn. And this should be a copy and paste thing, and it's still wrong, which is absolutely mind-blowing. And if you think as well about the Chaos Vault and how many secret layers that they have to dump on us from that, that's all this extra churn of product that they were making in the meantime, instead of focusing on actually balancing the gameplay, fixing the card quality. I mean, look at what happened with Modern Horizons 3. They literally were like, we didn't have enough time to actually playtest the new version of Nadu, so we just put him out. Oops, broke Modern. Oops, he's got to be banned in a bunch of formats. Like, we're just running at a breakneck pace for new Magic, and the new Magic we're getting is worse and worse. Aetherdrift is worse than Thunder Junction, and that's this year, right? Like, Wizards of the Coast has already admitted through Mark Rosewater that the choices that they've made with sets like Markov Manor, Thunder Junction, Duskmourn, are too lazy with the tropes. They go for too low-hanging fruit, and it doesn't connect that well with the audience. And he told us, yeah, we know this, but it takes us a long time to take things into account for design, so you won't actually see any changes until like 2026. So this whole year is going to be Aetherdrift level sloppiness, and at the same time, Rosewater can't even 100% be trusted with what he says. He told us like a week before they announced Universe Beyonds are going to be every second set in Standard. He was like, don't worry about Universes Beyond, it's just a fun side thing that we're doing. You're not forced to use it, it's not like it's part of our main formats. He said that to us a week before, knowing this was going to happen. So how much you can actually trust his words, I don't know. Either way, the sloppiness continues at Wizards of the Coast. They're frustrating people with what should be absolutely amazing rewards. Aetherdrift is getting off on the absolute wrong foot. And how are you supposed to be excited to go to a con where they don't even have the time to spell the names of places right and tell you what you're going to get with your badge? Do you think you're actually going to get a good experience delivered, or are they just going to be trying to like basically milk as much money as they can from everybody, right? That's the vibe. So that wraps up the news for today. Over on my live stream channel, I'll be there today later on, and I will have some Innistrad remastered boosters that will be cracking in some fun way. So you're welcome to come and join me for that. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning, if you want some old school good time magicalness, check out my Ice Age booster pack opening. I really loved this pack. Anyhow, thanks for coming by and hearing what I have to say. Big shout out to my patrons, and I will see you all, my friends, in the next video. Take care of yourselves. You deserve it.